Hello and welcome back to the Martial Arts Edge. I am Coach Larry and today we're going to be learning a reverse strike with the bow staff. All right, so I am assuming that you have taken an interest in the bow staff. And I do have to say that's a good choice because if this is your very first weapon, it'll teach you a lot on how a lot of the other weapons that you will learn in the future, how they move. This is an excellent weapon to choose. And hey, if you need a weapon, I have a link down in the description for you. It's going to give you a good opportunity to find a good bow for you. I have graphite bows on there, toothpick bows. I have normal waxwood bows, which are great to start off with. But I highly, highly, highly recommend the bow that I have right here, which is a toothpick graphite bow. It's an XMA bow. You can get it two-tone or not. It doesn't matter. I just got the two-tone because I think it was on sale. So it's a good bow, nice weight, and it moves really well, super balanced. All right, so a reverse strike is from your basic strikes that, again, is part of your basics, but this adds a little bit of a twist to it, literally. So if we remember our forward strike, our up, down, side, side, this is a good position to start from for your reverse strike. Whenever you have the bow underneath your arm. Now, a little tip. I want you to make sure that when you have the bow underneath your arm, you don't hold it, okay? The reason why is because if I have the bow like this and I'm here, in order for me to move the bow, what do I have to do first? I have to lift my elbow. So why not just keep your elbow lifted? That way it can move freely, right? So if it's underneath your arm, don't let your elbow drop. Okay, this is what we call shotgunning it. Don't shotgun the bow, okay? From here, this is a good position to start from. Now, a reverse strike, your goal is to keep the bow completely horizontal the entire strike. This is all a reverse strike is. I bring it up, I bring it around my head, I drop and go underneath my other armpit. Unwrap it, up and around and strike. So this is your reverse strike. Up and around, up and around. My hands don't change their grip. Right palm up, left palm down, and I just bring it up and around. Up and around. Up and around. Up and around. And you do this with a little bit of force. Now, you might wonder, does it hurt hitting your sides? Yeah, a little. It hurts a little bit. It'll sting for a little bit. You might even get some bruises. I don't want you to hit yourself to where it's hurting you to where you can't continue, but if it stings a little bit, don't worry about it. You'll get used to it, I promise, okay? So, again, from here, I like starting underneath that left armpit, so just hold it and just kind of do this. There you go. It's a good way to start. And then from here, lift it up, bring it around. Lift it up, bring it around. Now the cool thing about this is you have options. I can do a low strike, low strike. I can go middle, I can go middle, I can go high, high. So that's a really good thing. You can go low, low, mid, mid, high, high, right? Low, low, mid, mid, high, high. Now, do I recommend hitting bow on bow? Sure, you can absolutely do that. However, you have to know your weapon. This is a graphite bow, and it has a nice little paint job on it. I probably wouldn't hit this against another bow. You could, probably gonna break. So you don't wanna do that. I would get a beater bow, like a nice little rattan bow, or even just a nice little red oak bow. That'll help too. All right, finally, an exercise you could do that will help you with the reverse strike. What is most common with the reverse strike is that from here, what happens is that you bring the bow up. And see how the bow is kind of vertical right now? You'll do this, and you'll see them chopping. This is a very common error that people make with this reverse strike. Remember, the reverse strike needs to be as horizontal as I can get it, okay? It's horizontal to the ground. Doesn't mean it's not gonna have some variance. I just don't want the tips to drop down. And one way you can practice this is just by sitting on the ground. When I sit on the ground, just like this, just a normal sit, and I get into this position, I should be able to do this strike without hitting the ground, because that's what will happen. People will hit the ground if they're doing the strike wrong. So bring it around your head, around your head, around your head. You can see it from here. As I sit, back straight, good posture when you're working with the weapon, around my head, around my head, around, 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 around. If you do it really good, sometimes you'll like skim your hair and you'll feel really cool and really lucky at the same time. Back and forth. I mean, you can really do this with one hand. I mean, that's all. I'm just guiding this with one hand. Think of this as a sword, and the bottom part of the bow doesn't really exist. Cut, 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 cut. This is a really good exercise to practice so you can make sure that you're getting proper technique on this reverse strike. All right, so there you have it. That is your reverse strike with the bow staff. Again, this is the power strike. It's really great, especially when you do some turning moves with this. This really adds a lot of flair into your motion and into your strikes. So practice this technique. Make sure you're not going vertical with the bow. Keep that bow nice and horizontal the entire time, and I guarantee you, you'll get it in no time. Hey, and as always, please make sure you like, subscribe, and ding that bell, and that way you'll get notified of all the videos we come out with in the future. And I'll see you in my next class.